Everybody, I'm Jordan Garza, and welcome back to Unredacted. So it's been about a week since I last uploaded. I apologize about that. I'll try to be a little more, consistent in the future. But the news has been anything if not interesting. So over the last week, Illinois has basically made steps to remove all bail for a host of violent and dangerous crimes across the state. In Las Vegas, a Democratic official has been charged and arrested for the homicide of a local reporter who was critical of him over the last couple of months. And if that isn't scary enough, Tucker Carlson confirmed this morning that over 40 Trump allies have been subpoenaed through, I think, under the guise of January 6th. And this is clear weaponization of the DOJ. But we're going to start off with Illinois. So over in Illinois, you may have heard about this story on TikTok or Instagram. It's been making the rounds. That's actually where I first heard about it, and then I looked into it a little bit more. So, Illinois mayor drops hammer on new state law eliminating cash bail as a massive threat. Basically, what this does is it's going to eliminate cash bail for a host of different dangerous and violent crimes. Up into we're gonna skip through some of the malarkey here. Wow, I just used a Joe Biden. Never mind. Don't worry about it. A press release from Oakland Park Village states that abolishing cash bail will affect almost every offense, including, listen to this. Hold on. Let me get all of this so you can definitely see what I'm talking about here. It goes all the way down to here. Yeah. Including armed robbery, kidnapping, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. So let's just break all that down here. You want to kidnap somebody, assuming that you get caught, they will release you the same day, no cash bail. Armed robbery, break into a store, get caught, taken to jail, they're gonna let you out that night. Hell, you could probably hit the same spot twice. Second degree murder. Now, I think there's more charges than this that are actually now, there are more charges than this that are basically going to make it to where you do not need to pay bail to release the same day. And it's not just these. I mean, second degree murder is now going to be a cashless release bail. You are going to be getting out the same day. I don't understand how this is okay. Drug-induced homicide. Now, I'm assuming that's more oh, I hate when my computer jumps like that. I'm assuming that's more related to like when you, like if you have, I think it's something in the realm of like 100 hits of acid, you can be charged with manslaughter. But I think if you ask me, it also relates to like if you poison someone and you drug-induced homicide. I feel like that's if you poison someone, you're also getting out the same day. Threatening a public official. Well, I mean, people have been doing that for the past, 6-7 months with, picketing outside a Supreme Court justice's house is illegal, by the way, in case you didn't know. So let's just read a little bit more about this, and then we're going to go into some of the other stuff that's been going on. Town leadership also argued victims of crimes will be denied their constitutional rights, denounced how offenders released an electronic monitoring device will need to be in violation of their parole for 48 hours before police can act. Police will no longer be able to remove trespassers from a residence or business. What? Okay, hold on. Let's back up again. First off, you can be in violation of your parole for 48 hours before police can react. So I have 2 days of being, so does that mean at 47 hours I can like stop violating my parole and I'm good? I don't know. I guess we'll have to look into that a little more. And police will no longer be able to remove trespassers from a residence or business. So I can now basically just bust into your house, kick my feet up in the living room and say, you can't make me leave, bro. I'm just chilling. I guess. I don't know. Or I mean, I guess now homeless people just walk into Starbucks and take a nap because they can't remove you for trespassing, right? It's likely they won't stop until they destroy our communities and our society, Piak said. I'm not sure how to say that one. Pekau said at the meeting. I don't want to mess up his name. We all need to take a stand against this. This is a very dangerous bill, and I'm guessing that's the guy here. So we don't really need to go into it too more. I mean, it's 800 pages of legislation poorly drafted in the middle of the night, with little to no public debate or review. Of course, I mean, this is how the Democratic base works. They just push things through, and I mean, they like to add, 800 pages long. Who is going to have time to read that? I certainly don't, and I know a lot of public officials don't read half the bills they sign. So this is just another example of, our friends up north just dropping the ball as far as it comes to legislation and just protecting your community. You cannot let murderers, kidnappers, armed robbers, intimidation perpetrators, arson, I think is one of the other ones that I saw on TikTok, out the same day to finish up their crime. You stopped them mid-crime and they're just going to go finish it that night. I don't understand. So, like I said, moving on to other things that I just do not understand. Las Vegas official accused of killing a reporter who will remain in office and get paid. I didn't mention that at the beginning because, I want you to stick around, hear what I have to say. Apparently, you only guys want to listen to me for about 5 minutes. I don't blame you. I do tend to drag on and on. But check this one out. Sometimes I got cool stuff to talk about. An elected official who allegedly murdered an investigative reporter in Las Vegas will remain in office for 4 months and is still getting paid while he sits in prison. Now, this isn't entirely unprecedented. There have been examples in the past of people actually running for president or running presidential bids, at least, from prison. I can't remember the man's name off the top of my head right now, but it has happened before. However, if this was a Republican or a right-leaning official, he would have been removed. There would be public outcry. And quite frankly, have you heard about this story? Because I heard about it a couple of days ago, but I didn't report on it initially because honestly, I was like, I'm not going to immediately just jump on this because it's a Democrat official. I mean, reporters have been known to make up lies, and we're going to talk about that. There's a lot of reports on the reason that Paul Roberts actually attacked this reporter was because he was doing multiple reports on him prior to the election. A lot of people are saying he's the reason he lost his the latter's election. So is that because, the guy finally snapped, or was this reporter actually actively lying in a bid to hurt this Democratic representative? So I didn't want to jump on it immediately under that guise. But now he's been arrested, he's been accused, arrested, and now he's actually being charged. So I feel like it's safe to at least talk about. Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellers was denied bail last week when he was denied bail in Las Vegas. Good job. Charged in stabbing death of Jeff German, a Las Vegas Review journalist who had been probing Tellers' alleged misconduct in office. But as he waits behind bars, county leaders said Tellers will keep getting paid. For now, he is still an elected official. He will get paid while he's in jail. Clark County Commissioner Tuck Serbold told WSVA on Friday. Now, I don't really have a problem with that. You are an elected official. But I'm pretty sure if this was a Republican or a right-leaning official, he would have been removed, and he definitely wouldn't be getting paid. Serblum said voters have the option to recall Teller, who has lost a Democratic primary in June, but 100,000 signatures are required to put the ballot initiative forward. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? 100,000 signatures to get this guy removed? I know that the Democrats would find some easier way to just sign one bill, and he's out. We got him. There's also a possibility that Tellers could resign. He can take the scope of work away from him, but as far as having the title and getting the salary, that's the way it is because the voters picked him. He is an elected official, and if that's not a bad rule, because if it was said that all you have to do is be charged with some kind of crime, then the executive branch could just charge you with whatever they could think of just to get you removed from office. It's a way to combat political warfare, so it's not that bad. But, oh man, look at this guy's face. And that's the representative there. He does not look like he's having a good day. But it baffles my mind that this man can be accused and charged with murder. And not only is he not going to be removed, he's going to keep getting paid. I haven't heard about an initiative in any way to start a petition to actually get this guy removed from office. He's due process. Maybe they do an investigation and they say, hey, this guy was across town when this happened. These charges are baseless. That could still be the case, but quite frankly, from everything I've read and from what I've been seeing lately, I don't think that's the case at all. So over here on BuzzFeed, it actually just goes into a little more in depth on what happened. Jeff German, a veteran reporter of the Las Vegas Review Journal, was found fatally stabbed outside his home Saturday morning. On Wednesday, Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellers, who has lost the election after German published an investigation into him, was arrested on suspicion of murder. So again, this is what I'm saying. The reason I didn't want to jump on this immediately is because, maybe this reporter was just going out of his way. Just because you're a veteran reporter doesn't make me immediately trust you. Just to make, just for an op-ed, just for a story, A lot of people say don't let a good scandal go to waste, Robert Teller's Twitter feed has just been, hey, waiting for the next investigative report, waiting for another report. Hey, this guy's going after me again. I think there was like 4 or 5 reports that were written on Robert Tellers. So is this, a reporter that went too far, or did the Democrats snap? This is another, if you ask me, this is just another example of the left being the violent extremists. And they say that, the right are the violent extremists and they're the ones trying to destroy the country. But you have Democratic officials stabbing, allegedly stabbing investigative reporters in the street. Come on, man. In a news conference Thursday, law enforcement officials confirmed tellers had been arrested in connection to the murder of German. DNA found at the scene of the crime was a positive match for tellers, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department spokesman Dory Corin said. The bloodstained shoes and the hat they believe were worn during the stabbing were found cut up in an apparent effort to destroy evidence. So yeah, I mean, look, I guess he was wearing his hat and these shoes. They got blood on him, and he tried to chop them up and destroy them. Dude, come on, you're guilty. If this isn't enough to prove that there's a clear bias in the DOJ, let me show you this. Tucker Carlson obtained subpoenas from Biden's DOJ to Trump allies demanding personal information. Now, I heard about this again last week when Bannon was actually charged with, I believe he took something in the realm of $1 million from the Build a Wall nonprofit organization. But that isn't unheard of. CEOs and organizers are regularly paid from nonprofit organizations. So to me, that seems it's biased from the jump. But now it's been confirmed by different lawyers and allies that over 40 Trump allies have been subpoenaed with different charges, all under the guise of January 6th. So Tucker Carlson revealed on Monday night that his Fox News show obtained subpoenas that were sent from the Biden's Department of Justice to the Trump ally supporters seeking personal communications. Let me stop you right there and listen to what that is. Do you understand what that means? They're asking for personal communications, and that's from lawyers. You have what's called privileged information in this country, which makes it to where you cannot, you have to be able to equally defend yourself under the law. It shocks the conscience to everyone to see it, Carlson. The number of people who see it is very small because it is not covered by any media. It is not just happening to Amy Kramer. Issued in the past week, and what it demands is both unlawful and without precedent in the American history. The subpoena, Carlson said, claims to be investigating any claim that the vice president and or the president of the Senate has the authority to reject or choose not to count the presidential electors. Okay, so it wasn't just January 6th. Some of it is them actually just questioning. It's just questioning the vote. This is just for coming out and saying they wanted to. Yeah, the reject the authority of the Senate to choose the county president electors. So this was just them from coming out and saying we have questions, and the subpoena, Carlson says, claims to be investigating any claim that the vice president and or president of the Senate had the authority to reject or choose not to count the presidential electors. So this isn't just under the guise of January 6th. It's also under that just questioning if they had the authority to reject. Of course they have the authority. It's in the Constitution. Now, keep in mind, Carlson said, the claim you make as an American citizen about electors, any claim you make about American politics, period, is protected explicitly under the First Amendment. It is our core freedom. It is why we live here. It is why we are proud to be Americans. It is why so many American servicemen died protecting our country. Those are the freedoms they fought to preserve, Carlson said. In fact, he went on to say it is because we have the freedom of speech that when Democrats attempted to reject the electors slated to vote for Donald Trump in the Electoral College, they were not subpoenaed by incoming administration Department of Justice, and their personal communications were not demanded as part of the investigation, and why nobody prosecuted leading Democrats in 2016 when they sought to reject electors of Donald Trump, and is why none of these people, including Kamala Harris, is now in jail. But right now, according to the subpoena that we have obtained from Merrick Garland's DOJ, it is demanding all communications from the following people on this topic. And let's be clear, before we read their names, it is not clear what the investigation is actually about, and that is what the most terrifying part, said Carlson. This is literally an open fishing investigation for anyone that just tried to deny the election back in 2020. Clear weaponization of Biden DOJ. This is absolutely abhorrent. I'm so frustrated right now. I'm actually having a hard time getting my words out because it's weaponization of the DOJ, and I can't think of any other word for it. So basically, this is just a list of people that they're going after. And at no time in American history has it been okay to grab the personal communications of someone's lawyer because those are privileged. Not anymore, he said. Because continuing to read the names on this list. So this is a list, and if you want me to go through them all, I guess I could, but you can read them all right here. I mean, let's see if we see anybody. We got Trump's attorney, Jenna Ellis, James Topis, Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Victoria Tossing, Cleta Mitchell, Bruce Marks, who could go on and on and on. Apparently that's not even all of them. The DOJ is now going after former White House official Stephen Miller and a frequent guest of his show. Why a subpoena? Well, it could be because Stephen Miller went on this network and said, if we win this case in court, then we can direct the alternate states to elect the alternate states of electors are certified. Under Joe Biden, that apparently now is a crime. By the way, every one of these people has to hire a lawyer to defend him or herself, and a lot of them after the point of tears of harassment. But Joe Biden can't, Joe Biden can't afford it. But Joe Biden can't afford it. In addition, we should say obtained by the subpoena. The subpoena goes on to demand the communications of dozens of Republicans, people who have spoken to them, including the Representative Jake Hoffman of Arizona, Republican National Committee Catherine Beater in Michigan, former Representative Lou Bartlett in the state of Pennsylvania, and so it just goes on and on. It's listing an enormous amount of people, and it's asking for their private communications between them and their lawyers, which is privileged information and has never been under no guise of the Constitution do you have any right to take that information. So a lot of theories are saying that this is going to, this is going to expand on from these subpoenas and probably move into the, the executive branch, probably going after Trump. And it's mostly in a bid to stop him from running in the next election. But I mean, as a lot of people have pointed out, I mean, Trump's former White House lawyer said that the chance of him being indicted is very high under the Capitol riot, but it doesn't actually prevent you from running from office. So a lot of people are, theorizing that this is going to expand from these original subpoenas and, maybe move into trying to actually charge Trump with something under, the riots or, the Mar-a-Lago raid, or he had classified information. Somehow they're going to try to indict him. But even if Trump is charged and indicted, that actually doesn't keep him from running from office. It doesn't stop anyone from running from office. It's a non-starter. The reason Biden made that really weird speech last week that was super aggressive and kind of authoritarian is because now they've given out these subpoenas. They're going to line up all of these people and look, these are Trump allies. These is what the right represent. This is what we are trying to stop. And they're going to use that they're going to use that to drive the vote against the Republicans because they don't know how to, they don't know how to campaign on their own merit. They don't know how to get themselves elected. They only know how to get you anti-elected. I don't 100% buy all of the election meddling. I think a lot of people were so riled up against Trump, they would have voted for anyone as long as it wasn't Trump. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for me. I might have rambled on a little longer than I meant to, but Illinois is about to become a Grand Theft Auto player's dream. In Las Vegas, you can apparently kill a guy and hold your position in office, and the Biden administration is continuing to weaponize the DOJ against the right. Looks like more now than ever, you need to keep your eyes open, your ears to the ground, and you stay safe out there. I'll see you guys next time.